Hey everyone, welcome back to Mind Unscripted. I'm Hafsa, and today's episode is going to be a deep dive into a topic that's increasingly relevant in our digital age: social media addiction. We're talking about everything from dopamine hits to doom scrolling, and how all of these affects our mental health. So grab your favorite snack, get comfy, and let's get into it. Let's start with a scenario many of us are all too familiar with. You're having a rough day, maybe you've just had a friendship breakup or faced a big setback. You reach for your phone and start scrolling through social media, seeking a distraction or perhaps some form of solace. Instead of feeling better though, it feels like every post you come across is somehow echoing your pain. It's like social media has this uncanny ability to sense when we're down and decides to serve us a platter of relatable sadness. Ever noticed how your feed suddenly becomes a highlight reel of all things sad just when you're feeling blue? You start with one sad reel, and before you know it, you're down a rabbit hole of sorrowful posts and heartbreaking stories. It's almost as if the algorithm is working against you, amplifying your negative emotions instead of offering a break from them. This cycle of consuming content that reflects our current mood can trap us in a loop of negativity. We keep scrolling, seeking validation and empathy, but what we often get is more of the same, a relentless echo chamber of our own feelings. It's like feeding a fire with more wood, except the fire is our mood, and the wood is an endless stream of sad content. The more we engage with these posts, the more the algorithm learns what keeps us hooked, which usually means more of the same type of content. It's a self perpetuating cycle that makes it harder to break free from our negative feelings. Now, let's talk about dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter in our brains that's responsible for pleasure, motivation, and reward. It's what makes us feel good when we achieve something or experience something enjoyable. Now, social media has learned how to exploit the system, turning it into a never ending quest for dopamine hits. So, every time you get a like, a comment, or a notification, your brain releases a little bit of dopamine. This gives you a tiny reward and makes you want to keep coming back for more. The problem is that these dopamine hits are fleeting and often lead to a constant craving for the next one. The more you scroll, the more your brain becomes accustomed to this quick gratification, which can lead to a decrease in baseline dopamine levels. This means that everyday activities that used to bring you joy may not feel as rewarding anymore. Over time, this can lead to increased feelings of anxiety and restlessness when you're not online. You might find yourself feeling unmotivated or dissatisfied with things that used to make you happy. It's like your brain is on a constant roller coaster of highs and lows, driven by the immediate rewards of social media. Now, let's dive deeper into doom scrolling. You know the feeling. You start scrolling through your feed, and suddenly you're inundated with bad news, upsetting headlines, and dramatic stories. It's like the news has become a never ending soap opera, and you're glued to the screen, waiting for the next shocking twist. So, doom scrolling can amplify our anxieties and fears, often making the world seem much more frightening than it actually is. The constant barrage of negative news can lead to increased stress, anxiety, and even feelings of hopelessness. It's like eating junk food for your mind, except instead of gaining weight, you're gaining stress and worry. Breaking out of this habit can be challenging, especially when the urge to stay informed feels overwhelming. But recognizing that doom scrolling is a harmful habit is the first step towards change. One strategy is to set specific times for checking social media so you're not constantly exposed to negative content throughout the day. It's also helpful to seek out positive content and uplifting stories to balance out the negativity. Like, you can go on platforms like YouTube where you can actually control the content you want to see. So it's not just an endless scroll on your FYP, not knowing what reel is going to show up next. But instead on YouTube, you can search up exactly what you want to watch, and it can help balance out the negativity. Screen time is another significant issue. It's so easy to lose track of how much time we spend on our phones. Whether you're binge watching TikToks or endlessly scrolling through Instagram, those hours add up. Research suggests that excessive screen time can lead to a range of problems, including disrupted sleep patterns, eye strain, and increased feelings of anxiety and depression. One way to manage screen time is by setting clear limits. Use apps that track your screen time and set daily goals for how long you want to spend on social media. If you find yourself constantly reaching for your phone, try replacing that time with activities that are good for your mental health. Engage in hobbies, exercise, or spend time with loved ones can help shift your focus away from your screen and improve your overall well-being. Social media addiction isn't just about spending too much time online. It's about the impact this time has on our mental health. So, here's an in-depth look at how social media addiction affects us and some practical steps to help reduce these effects. Number 1, increased anxiety and depression. Research has shown that excessive social media use can lead to higher levels of anxiety and depression. The constant comparison with others, exposure to negative news, and the pressure to present a perfect life can all contribute to these feelings. It's essential to recognize these effects and take proactive steps to manage them. Number 2, impact on sleep. Screen time, especially before bed, can interfere with your sleep. The blue light produced by screens disrupts your circadian rhythm, making it harder to fall asleep and reducing the quality of your rest. So, to improve your sleep, try to avoid screens at least an hour before bed and establish a relaxing bedtime routine. Number 3, reduced attention span. Constant exposure to fast-paced content can shorten your attention span. This means that you might find it harder to focus on tasks and engage in activities that require sustained concentration. So combat this by practicing mindfulness, by practicing engaging in activities that require focus and patience, like reading or doing puzzles. Number 4, social media and self-esteem. Social media often portrays an idealized version of reality. Constant exposure to these idealized images can negatively impact your self-esteem and body image. So it's crucial to remind yourself that these images are often curated and don't reflect reality. So focus on self-acceptance and engage with content that promotes body positivity and mental well-being. Social media doesn't have to be a source of stress and negativity. When used thoughtfully, it can actually enhance your well-being and provide valuable benefits. Here's a guide on how to use social media in a way that supports your mental health and personal growth. Number 1, curate your feed for positivity. Start by following accounts and pages that inspire, educate, and uplift you. Look for content that aligns with your values, interests, and goals. This could include motivational quotes, educational resources, mindfulness practices, or accounts that just share positivity and personal development tips. By curating your feeds, you can create an environment that fosters positivity and growth. Number 2, set purposeful goals. Define what you want to achieve through your social media use, whether it's connecting with individuals who are similar to you, learning new skills, or staying informed about topics that interest you, or having clear goals that can help you use social media more intentionally. This approach can prevent aimless scrolling and ensure that your time online is spent productively. Number 3, engage mindfully. Practice mindful engagement by being present and intentional with your interactions. Instead of mindlessly scrolling, take time to thoughtfully engage with content, leave meaningful comments, participate in discussions, and share content that resonates with you. Mindful engagement helps build genuine connections and fosters a more positive online experience. Number 4, limit exposure to negative content. while it's important to stay informed, it's equally crucial to protect your mental health from overwhelming negativity. Use features like mute or unfollow to manage your exposure to distressing content. You can also set boundaries on how much time you spend consuming news or controversial topics. Focus on content that adds value and contributes positively to your well-being, because as easily as you can scroll to the next reel, it's just as easy to scroll past a negative reel. Number 5, create and share valuable content. Consider creating and sharing content that aligns with your passions and expertise, whether it's blog posts, videos, or infographics. Contributing valuable content can help you feel more engaged and purposeful. Sharing your knowledge and experiences can also inspire and support others, creating a positive ripple effect within your community. So try to switch to posting um valuable content instead of just trying to fit in and trying to meet the standards of social media. Number 6, connect with supportive communities. Seek out online communities and groups that provide support and encouragement. Whether you're interested in mental health, hobbies, or professional development, there are communities dedicated to almost every interest. So engaging with supporting groups can offer a sense of belongings and provide valuable resources and advice. Number 7, schedule your social media time. Establish designated times for checking and using social media. By scheduling your social media activities, you can prevent it from encroaching on other important aspects of your life. For example, you might decide to check social media during lunch breaks or in the evening rather than throughout the day. Setting boundaries helps maintain a healthy balance and reduces the risk of overuse. Number 8, practice digital detoxes. Incorporate regular digital detoxes into your routine to refresh your mind and reset your relationship with social media. Whether it's a few hours a day or a weekend, stepping away from screens can provide a much needed break and help you reconnect with offline activities and relationships. Use this time to focus on hobbies, spend time outdoors, or engage in self care. Number 9, reflect on your social media use. Periodically reflect on your social media habits and their impact on your mental health. Consider keeping a journal to track how your mood changes based on your social media interactions. This reflection can help you identify patterns and make adjustments to your usage to better align with your goals and well-being. And lastly, seek professional help if needed. If you find that social media use is significantly impacting your mental health or daily life, don't hesitate to seek professional support. Mental health professionals can provide guidance and strategies for managing social media use and addressing any underlying issues. By using social media thoughtfully and strategically, you can create a more positive and fulfilling experience. Remember, social media can be a powerful tool for connection and growth when used with intention and care. So take control of your online presence and make it work for you. Social media is a powerful tool that can bring joy and connection, but it also has the potential to impact our mental health negatively. From the dopamine hits to doom scrolling and excessive screen time, it's important to be aware of how social media affects us and take steps to manage our usage. By setting boundaries, curating our feeds, and finding a balance between online and offline activities, we can create a healthier relationship with social media. Thank you so much for joining me today, and if you found this episode helpful, don't forget to share it with friends who might benefit from it. And of course, follow for more discussions and tips on mental health. Until next time, take care of yourself, and remember, we're all in this together.